Hey Tenno, this is Mako, and we're going to discuss Growing Power, which is a new aura that drops from the Silver Grove quest, specifically from the Knave Spectre. Now, this aura is a rare, and it is a V-polarity, so make sure you have a form on hand, or have it going to a Warframe that has a V polarity already, if you're thinking of implementing this. Now, the specifics of this aura is it grants you 25% power strength when you proc a status proc. Now, that buff only lasts for 6 seconds, but during that time you can get some serious damage done, you know. Also, I redid my Nova look. I really still don't like the Lux skin, but I found a way to make it look nice, just in my eyes. So, you may be wondering about the mechanics of this. So, once you proc this within that 6 seconds, any ability cast gains 25% power strength buff, which is rather fun. I would suggest assigning to a Gamma Core, as you can get up to 3. Now, you may be wondering if powers that last longer than that 6 seconds still get that buff. The answer is yes. While that power was cast during the buff duration, it will remain buffed even after that, during power little tick timer is gone. So this works great with, World of Fire, such as Ash Bladestorm, maim from Equinox, or Mend if you want to go that route. Now, I would suggest not putting Quation Drift, as just coupling it with Power Grip is more than enough to buff up your, power strength. It would only give you a little more, and it would only directly affect the augment while it's active, or Power Drift just gives you a flat buff. Now, here's an annoying factor. When you do this within the Simulacron with that aura, it rather is annoyingly not going to activate for the rest of the duration, so you have to leave and come back. So keep that in mind. If you go into your arsenal, it will block all aura activation, so it only works when you go right off the bat. So now we're going to do a little control group test with Equinox. Now this is using Peaceful Provocation, which is the augment for Equinox to further amp up its strength. Now, I like Equinox because it amps up its own strength, basically, while that aura is up. Now, it further drains Equinox, but oh well. I have an efficiency build with damage, basically. It's a new Equinox. I like it. Now, if you notice, the counter is going to go up to about 56. That's the max I can get it up to with the current power buff I have. Even without having Growing Power active, that's still some serious damage amplification right there, Tenno. So, with this buff up, as you can see, even with all the weird numbers going on, let me see if I can deactivate that. So, it's a flat rate, as you can see. Now, I just left and came back. Let's go retest this with Growing Power itself, amplifying it. Now, cast your ability. Now, these will be augmented for the duration that they are up, which is, as I said, pretty useful if you're using an Equinox and keeping that power up with efficiency, or an Ember, or even Ash to a point, Tenno. This could also be useful for Trinity if you wanted to try that. Now, you already noticed the buff is a little stronger, just a little bit, but it's more than that. As you go, you can get this past 60% now. That's 60+% in power strength just dumped onto your Equinox. That's pretty cool. So, as you can see, I'm just going to keep amping it up, and because I have status procs, I can just use my first power, or my second power, to further weaken enemies to my damage. Now, let's see if I can wait till this other counter goes away so you can actually see how much this is buffed. So it literally goes to 65.101% of power strength buff. So not only is this also going to affect itself when I have it active, it will affect my squad. So my squad now will get 65% power strength buff just while they're near me. This could be great for an Ashe coupled with Trinity or another Equinox. You know, 2 Equinoxes with this together, that's over 120%, you know, power strength buff just intermingled. Amp that up with an Ashe in the middle and a Trinity, and you're golden at nuking some maps. As I said, it's rather fun if you know how to use it tactically. So strategizing to use it and cast when that path, you know, buff is active further helps you, helps your teammates, and whatnot. Also, I'm going to show you a little trick with the Kavat with Equinox. So switching forms will buff your Kavat. Now, you'll notice my shield buff is active. That's because I have the, you know, mod on the Kavat that amps it up by the shield. So if I keep casting first power, if I can figure out which is the first power, thank you. Now, casting this first power will further just keep giving your Kavat a buff. So, just some synergy with Kavats and Equinox. Thanks for watching. Hope to help.